All right, welcome everyone. Let's get our speakers to the stage and we'll get started shortly.
Hi, everyone.
Ciao. All right, we got Alex from ZetaChain and Bitsmiley on the stage. Julie, I sent you a co-host invite. Let me know if that works for you. I'll invite you as a speaker.
Nice.
Oh, your co-host. Amazing.
Okay. Amazing. Thank you everyone for joining our space. Yeah. How are you, Alex? And how is our speaker from Bitsmiley, Arigato? Hi. I think Bitsmiley is still shown as listener.
Oh, let's give it another try. We can't do this one without Bitsmiley.
Yeah, exactly. I'll invite to.
I think we had them for a moment. I sent another speaker invite.
Yeah, let us know if you have any technical issue. Okay. All right, let's get ready. Yeah, I saw a lot of familiar faces. Thank you. A lot of audiences from local communities.
Hi,
Okay.
can you hear me now?
Yes, very
Okay,
clear.
yeah. Okay, great.
All right, we'll wait for Alex for rejoining as well. But how are you?
I'm all good, thanks.
Like which time zone are you in right now?
I'm in the China time. I'm in Shanghai at the moment, so it's like 10:30 in the morning.
No way. Okay, same. I'm in Shanghai as well.
Oh, that's
Yeah, Alex is in San Francisco.
okay.
So,
Is
all
that
right.
pretty late for them?
Yeah, it's after office hours, but yeah, let's start right
Yeah.
now. Okay, so super happy to have everyone on the stage. So hi everyone, welcome to our AMA session. Bitsmiley 101, the first native BTC-backed stablecoin on ZetaChain. So I'm Julie from ZetaChain, and I'll be the host today. So um, very happy to have Aggregato, the marketing lead from Bitsmiley, on the stage, and also my coworker Alex Kim from ZetaChain. We're very happy to have all of you here to discuss the groundbreaking project Bitsmiley. So it is the first native BTC-backed stablecoin built on us, and we're gonna elaborate what does it mean later. And also, before we join, a quick reminder for this really good outcome, like a milestone. We've got a 300 Zeta prize pool for all the participants today. So everyone, please stay tuned till the last minute and feel free to ask any questions and engage with us. And don't forget to follow both ZetaChain and Bitsmiley for updates. So now let's dive in. So first, Alex and Arigato, do you want to do some brief introduction for yourself and Bitsmiley to the audience?
Arigato, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Ari. I'm the marketing lead. I'm mainly in charge of the marketing and then also the community building. So within our own community, I think the people are probably very familiar with who I am, and um just introduce a little bit about Bitsmiley. We're a stable coin that's backed by Bitcoin, and you can over collateralize your Bitcoin into our protocol in order to mint BitUSD, which is our stable coin. And then you can interact with other protocols on either Bitcoin layer twos or also, for example, Zeta, which is without having us to interact with Bitcoin layer twos, like how we were collaborating with Merlin or some other ecosystem and stuff like that. But that's pretty much what we do. So we're just the most fundamental, I would say, like fundamental elements on a Bitcoin ecosystem. Yeah.
Great. Alex.
Hey everyone, name's Alex here. I'm sure maybe some of you have been listening to me speak in previous AMAs before, but nothing has changed. Still BD here at ZetaChain, and currently in San Francisco, and I'm very excited to see what we can share with Bitsmiley today.
Sounds good. Yeah, it isn't the first time both Bismiley and Alex and me getting on the stage. Last time we had the BTC Phi ecosystem AMA and have all our amazing ecosystem projects for Bitcoin related on the stage. So, yeah, so today we'll be focusing on Bitsmiley and for both Alex and Bitsmiley. So, what inspired Bitsmiley to build solutions using Bitcoin on Zeta Chain? I mean, more specifically, like, why do you guys think it's a good opportunity for collaborations? You can answer both on tech side or something more like personal. Yeah.
I think I'll go first. Um, I was evaluating the entire start of the Bitcoin L2 narrative. So this was when there were a lot of different bridging solutions that just recently started being created. This was towards the end of 2023. There were a couple Bitcoin bridges that were being created with ordinals, inscriptions, etc., to different EVM networks. And during this time, I was looking through a good friend of mine who also works for a VC. And coincidentally, I think one of their first investments, I think it was ABCD Capital, was into Bitsmiley. And when I looked into Bitsmiley, the team was still early, but I think I met their team in Denver, and it was amazing how fast they progressed. I mean, the UI, UX, the entire front end design. The team was quite large, and after speaking with their team in Denver, I kind of understood their capability and the bandwidth for them to develop something like this. I think they had a vision, and their team is more than capable to execute on what they want for the entire Bitcoin space. So this is a reason why I reached out to them, and hence why we're continuing to work together.
Thanks. That's a very highly uh, sorry, I'm just losing the word right now, like the compliments for us. And I also because I guess I got connected with Zeta like later on, just because I'm not personally in the BD sector, so that I didn't know like we went way back to Denver and all that. So that's pretty new to me, like, cuz just I'm not from the first stage that connecting with you guys. But yeah, like from my point of view, that we're doing this collaboration with you guys is mainly because that we realize that there's a lot of challenges within collaborating with like Bitcoin layer twos and having our users to bridge or to wrap their Bitcoin is quite either complicated for the users, and to educate them to do that, even though they're willing to learn all of the process. But still it was um within the whole process that we can see a lot of people are being a bit so skeptical, like they're they don't really want to, wrap their Bitcoin, and they don't feel like secure about this whole process interacting with like different Bitcoin layer twos, and also getting the gas and all of that. It's very complicated. So we want to eventually, we've always had this vision where we want to operate on the native mainnet. So that's why we were thinking, okay, working with Zeta is definitely has always been like our part of the roadmap. And so now that we're here, so we're very happy to like eventually being able to operate this. Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you. Yeah, definitely Zeta Chain is very unique, talking about the BTC solution. And so let's talk about Bitsmiley's unique approach. So what do you think? What makes BTC backed stablecoin solution for Bitsmiley stand out compared to other solution like WAP BTC or Coinbase BTC?
Well, I would say the unique thing about us is that, well, we definitely think we're the first one who launched the native Bitcoin backed stablecoin. So for users to be able to use this kind of stablecoin that's backed by Bitcoin without actually bridging or wrapping Bitcoin itself, it's pretty unique, and it's like and secure. And also that just being the first, I would say it's pretty unique already. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I'm just gonna give the stage mostly for Arigato, but Alex, feel free to jump in anytime. The next question would be, eliminating bridges in what BTC is a bold step. So, what do you think this is such a breakthrough for BTC DeFi?
Well, I think that like I've mentioned before as well, like bridge and also wrapping introduce like risks such as like centralizing and smart contract vulnerabilities and operational complexities for users and for pretty much everybody. So by cutting out these steps, we're definitely making it a lot easier for the users to experience this, and the whole process just became a lot easier. So that's what we think, it's like such a breakthrough, and it
Oh,
just simplifies the whole um period for them, and it's more secure as well for users, and also for like believers. They definitely don't want to change anything about Bitcoins. That's when I'm interacting with my community members. Yeah.
I also want to jump in here. I think in terms of competitive edge, right? When we look at Bitsmiley's solution with native Bitcoin enabled by us at ZetaChain, and if you compare some of the other solutions out there, some of the more popular L2s, and even some of the earlier BTC-backed stablecoins, the models were quite different. I think very, very early towards end of 2023. It was one of the first ones to gain a lot of narrative and mindshare. Won't really say which one, but the definition of a Bitcoin-backed stablecoin to them was locking Bitcoin and then minting it into a wrapped version and using multiple bridges to go into a wrapped Bitcoin. But then the thing is, once the users were able to redeem that wrapped Bitcoin and get a stablecoin, for example, the opportunities weren't there for that chain. So actually, it was more of a two-way bridge using a multi-sig wallet. So it was still in itself a very centralized way of being able to receive this stablecoin that was quote unquote backed by native Bitcoin when it was actually an EVM version of it. I think another solution actually allowed users to lock their stablecoins to mint out an equivalent version. So they had to lock their stablecoins on BTC, which is like a pretty much EVM version. And then they had to mint out an equivalent version of their stable to
Sorry, I
use
think
in
I'm
other.
kind of losing the signal.
Is it
Can't
me?
really
I
hear
think it's my internet. Give me 1 second.
I think both of you guys are super audible, like super clear, but feel free to switch networks. But for my side, it's very clear. Nothing's wrong.
Okay,
Alex,
yeah.
I think you can go ahead. Yeah. All right. Um, thanks for adding on, Alex. Super good point. And let's talk about the benefits for users and ecosystem. Let's dive into the practical side. So, what are some real world use cases for this stablecoin and how does it drive innovation in DeFi? I think for this one, um, okay. Um, Aggregator, do you want to rejoin? We can wait for you. It's fine. Yeah, and in the meantime, Alex, I think you were fine all through the way, so I guess no worries for you. You don't need to rejoin or anything. But now we're going to
I lost you guys for like at least I think 2 minutes, but I
okay.
couldn't hear anything.
Alex was just like adding on some really good points on why is Bitsmiley a really good solution and a breakthrough for the DeFi solution for Bitcoin. But now we're going to the next questions to talk about the benefits for users in the ecosystem. So, can you give us some real world like use cases for this stablecoin? Like, how would it be using for in some like certain scenario and kind of drive the innovation in DeFi?
Um, I would say like for first, like you can definitely like use it for lending, borrowing, and yield farming, which we've done a lot of um collaborations with previous projects, for example. So our users are familiar with the fact that if you emit BitUSD, you can interact with some other protocols and then earn their points, or also at the same time you can earn points from us, our bit points, and then later on you can like use that points to claim certain amount of token airdrops from either of the projects. So that's like the one of the biggest use case for us for sure. And then at the moment, like for example, we are working with Zeta, so also by interacting with these protocol, you can either earn Smile, which is our governance token, and then also there's, for example, like today you join the space, you can even earn like Zeta, right? And then we're perhaps like in the future, we're definitely gonna do more of the collaborations to onboarding users to use native Bitcoin backed stablecoin protocols, so that we're gonna have more incentives. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. And for Alex, I know
I
you've
know you've
been
been.
the echo is like really big. Okay. Yeah. So for Alex, I know as the BD manager, you're supporting a lot of our ecosystem projects. So this is definitely a big deal to support Bitsmiley to get on board our testnet, and then later on um, launch on the mainnet. So how does ZetaChain ensure a secure and seamless user experiences across blockchains while facilitating this?
Well, before I answer that question, I actually want to hop off of what Arigato said earlier. Um, Again, it's really important to understand the competition here. The Bitcoin-backed stablecoin landscape is very large. However, if not most, if not all of these existing solutions is a two-step process. So you have to bridge some sort of Bitcoin equivalent into a centralized bridge that's often custodied by a majority 3 out of 5 multisig to mint out another equivalent of that Bitcoin to go into a DEX to swap it for a stable coin, and then you have to ensure that the liquidity is deep enough for both of those assets. So there's a lot of risk there, right? Is liquidity death. It's, you know, there runs a liquidation risk. If the Bitcoins that are minted are not one to one with the underlying collateral asset, this is the biggest thing. And second is, which I'll go into my answer in a bit, is the trust assumption here. So you're trusting a 3 out of 5 multi-sig wallet, and I think we've seen a lot of exploits that's been happening in the past with a lot of lending protocols and some other DeFi protocols implementing a very similar solution. So the actual utility for a stablecoin like BitUSD is very simply a one-click UI UX. So on Bitsmiley, you're able to connect your Bitcoin wallets, making sure that you have native Bitcoin. You're able to deposit it, adjust your LTV ratio as you would with any other protocol, and mint out BitUSD on ZetaChain in one single click. That's never been done before. And although, the UI UX is as simple as a one-click transaction, I don't think we compromise any security in that part as well. No 3 out of 5 centralized bridges, but rather using the MPC TSS decentralized architecture of ZetaChain, right? So what's happening in the backend side, which really ensures the decentralization of this product, is everything, all these native Bitcoin is being sent over to a multi-party TSS address on Bitcoin, which is custodying the user's native Bitcoin, and then the protocol itself is minting out an equivalent version, which also gets swapped to mint out BitUSD. However, the front end, one-click UI UX is as simple as that. ZetaChain, we have our own validator sets, we have our observer signers. So the architecture of ZetaChain is quite broad, and I would argue that it's actually more secure than some of the other competitors currently out there right now. So I think this answers the second side of the question, but happy to elaborate.
Yeah, totally makes sense. I do agree. Compared to those bridges or those like web BTC, like how we manage to interact and manage the assets always natively, um, and also our observer signer validator and also the TSS just um, like ensures the security from our side. So sounds good. So then let's move on to the developer development and innovations. So on the technical side, could you share how ZetaChain's infrastructure and Bitcoin's Taproot upgrade enables this solution? If this one is already like having some overlaps, we can skip it unless you guys want to add on anything.
I think well, I definitely had to ask our devs for this answer just because I'm not that like techy and like technical about the whole like details of the um infrastructures and like that side. And I think just adding like one more point that I also learned from our devs is that Zeta Chain provides the cross chain infrastructures, while like the Taproot's TapScript upgrade allows nearly like unlimited data transfers, which compared to before it was like 80 byte limit, which was what our devs told me, and I think that's pretty cool. And yeah, that's like such a breakthrough for this whole protocol. Yeah.
All right. I think. Okay. So for Bismiley, if you can mute during other people speaking, it would be great because like there's echoes. All right. So every innovation has its challenges. Let's talk about this more. So what were the biggest, hurdles in creating a native BTC backed stablecoin, and how did your team overcome them? I feel like this question would be more focusing on like how did you guys make sure you're standing out compared to all the other solutions, and how did you guys overcome those difficulties in the tech side or the marketing side, feel free to share anything that you think would be a challenge, but you're like proudly share to the public.
Um, I guess like from my point of view, which I remember that we had some major challenges was from some technical challenge which I didn't really understand like when we had our meetings, which um it was like pretty technical, so in a way it's like I didn't really get which exactly was the problem, but then we had to work on that for a while before we can launch the actual collaborations. I guess that's one of the biggest challenges. And then also on the other hand is that we also need to educate our users about like what are the benefits, and like maybe Alex mentioned a few times that we also need to like tell our users how this is so much different and more secure and a lot easier to use with without that many risks, like signing your wallets through like so many different multi-sig wallets and stuff like that. So we also need to kind of gain our users trust on why we can do this and how they can trust us to like trust our technical um, achievements on we can just simplify this whole process into just maybe one click. So I guess they will have doubts at first, but um, we're definitely gonna onboard more users and make them to you know experience this protocol and to gradually gain trust with us. Yeah.
All right,
All
thank
right, thank
you.
you.
Alex, feel free to jump in anytime, but if not, we actually have designed questions for you later. So actually last time we had the BTC-Fi ecosystem AMA, and we mentioned that ZetaChain has the potential to bring $1.5 trillion BTC liquidity into universal apps. So this one is a really great enormous number. So, Alex, can you share your vision on how ZetaChain will leverage this liquidity to make cross-chain BTC applications more accessible?
So there's a couple different things here. I think Bitsmiley is one of the greatest use cases for a CDP stablecoin. I think another great project to really tap into right now is our DEXs that also enable a one-click UI UX for native Bitcoin users to swap into any other asset from any other chain in one single click UI UX as well. I think the functionality for BitUSD and Bitsmiley here goes beyond that as well. So it goes a step beyond the actual DEX use case where now users are able to collateralize their native Bitcoin and borrow something against it, right? In such as a lending market, and being able to deposit that BitUSD into some other DeFi protocol that's earning the user a reward, a potential reward. So I think these are some of the really untapped potentials of Bitcoin liquidity right now. The current real native Bitcoin community are doing a lot of these activities on centralized exchanges. They're directly depositing into centralized exchanges to earn a certain reward rate. But none of the actions are currently on chain because those users know that it's not really native Bitcoin. So I think this opens up the opportunity for these native Bitcoin users to interact in a DeFi world, in a trustless world, using their native Bitcoin um, in a more secure way than what other solutions provide. So I think that's really what our I think this is what can be enabled by some of these native Bitcoin use cases here. But as the space continues to evolve, I'm sure that we're going to see a lot more different use cases and opportunities for BitUSD and native Bitcoin as well.
Thanks, Alex. And definitely making the point. The next question would be also super related. I mean, partnerships like Bitsmiley have great meanings. And how does ZetaChain's partnership strategy contribute to this BTC ecosystem growth? I know we've been focusing a lot on our growth for ecosystem building on like the Bitcoin and DeFi. So what other partnerships or integrations with our ecosystem projects are we expecting in the future, or um, anything with are like building and gonna be land on us very soon? Can also be related to Bitsmiley if you think it's like would be a really good integration.
Sorry, is that a question for me?
Yes.
Julie, you cut out there. Could you just could you just repeat it one more time? It was like cutting in between.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just asking. So, as we mentioned for Zeta Chain's vision, like we've been focusing a lot on the partnerships, and build um, like integrating a lot of projects on us for the BTC ecosystem. So, what kind of other partnerships or integration with our ecosystem can we expect in the future? And what would be the partnership strategy? Contribute to our BTC ecosystem growth.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the answer is pretty straightforward here. I think what's really going to make us stand out from the competition is the use cases for BitUSD here. So besides the actual platform and our DEX integration, we need to do a lot more for these BitUSD holders. There needs to be an incentive for native Bitcoin users um, to use their native Bitcoin to mint up BitUSD and being able to have these other opportunities that are not just a DEX swap or a DEX deposit. So this could be one of the key elements of any ecosystem, which is a money market, being able to deposit and borrow your BitUSD and being able to leverage that borrow BitUSD and go to a DEX and provide LP into the pool and being able to earn, a compounded reward for that BitUSD as well. Even in perp DEXs as well, being able to collateralize your BitUSD and you're able to um, execute on some of the strategies that these users want to do using their BitUSD is also another option as well. I personally think it's quite endless, but I think the most strongest use case is going to come from DeFi.
Super good point. And just as we mentioned, the BitUSD, just Arigato, feel free to add on anything. But if not, then we can jump up to the roadmap and future plans for both. So looking ahead, what's the next for Zeta Chain and Bitsmiley in 2025? I think we can just separate. So for the Bitsmiley side, are there any like key milestones or exciting initiatives that align with your mission?
Um, Definitely from our side that we started as a stablecoin protocol. Even though right now we're actually working on our new branding that we kind of shared a little bit, but not all the details for our users. But that's like what we've been doing a lot because our website before it was like really focusing on the protocol itself, but now that we gradually growing into more of um, bigger project, I would say like we have more than just one product, and also we're exploring some other opportunities in the future, so that the whole branding just became more of um whole concept instead of just like one protocol. So we're gonna launch our new website and some other features as well for our products I would say very soon. And apart from that, obviously we're gonna um, promote more of the our collaboration with you guys and just to onboard more users to try out this protocol and then eventually be able to launch it on the mainnet instead of just right now it's just a test net. um, I would say that's pretty much like what we have going on so far for this like immediate stage. And then for like longer terms, we're still like exploring other ecosystems so that we might not just focus on Bitcoin itself because we want to um, perhaps like enhance the the ideas our protocol into more of other ecosystems and see what kind of opportunities that we can bring in, especially like just bring more use cases for our users. That would always help with, I don't know, amplify BitUSD itself, I would say. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right, anything to add on Alex's site?
No, I think Arigato has summed it up really well. I'm really excited for this collaboration, and I think the testnet campaign is really going to speak for itself. I don't, yeah, I truly believe that there's nothing else out there in the market that's enabling a one-click UI UX minting experience for and depositing native Bitcoin to mint out BitUSD. I truly think there's no one else doing it.
Sounds good. Super promising and super excited for the later on collaborations with Bitsmiley. And yeah, so this would be mostly the content for our AMA today. So finally to wrap things up. So we encourage everyone to join the BitUSD mainnet launch campaigns later on. And also be sure to follow both ZetaChain and Bitsmiley for updates and stay tuned for what's next. And thank you everyone for joining this space. So if you're on the stage and would like to attend the campaign, please take a screenshot and we're gonna announce who's the winner for today's campaign. But thank you everyone. Have a
Thank
good
you.
morning and night.
Thank you, guys. Thanks